It's always a pleasure.
Okay, beer lovers, it's time to say thank you. Christine met up with Neil Whitty, who works with businesses to make sure that you get the best tasting beer possible.
Have you ever had that beer that just doesn't taste quite right? Yeah, we've all been there. You work very hard to make sure that that doesn't happen.
That's correct. I worked for Boulevard Brewing Company for almost 20 years. And about 16 of those years, I worked in field quality. So I worked with the whole network of distribution and all of the retailers and the national sales team to make sure that everybody was taking care of the beer along the way after it left the brewery.
So you walk into a location, what do you look for?
Well, you know, it depends on where I'm at. There's a number of things that can happen to beer after it leaves the brewery. I would say the biggest things would be out-of-code beer for one.
What does that mean?
So beer that has gone past its best buy date.
Okay.
So I'm always checking date codes on beer to make sure that I'm not buying out-of-code beer or something that isn't going to taste as good. It can taste stale or even like wet paper or wet cardboard. Not very good.
No.
The other thing I'm checking for is, when I'm in a restaurant or a bar, is I'm looking at the draft system. I'm making sure that the system is showing all the signs of being clean, and I'm hoping that it is designed correctly. So I'm also looking behind the scenes oftentimes to make sure that it's set up the right way and that it is set up to deliver beer the way the brewer intended.
Cleanliness is huge when it comes to this stuff.
Yeah, it is. So draft lines need to be cleaned. Beer is food, and so things will grow in draft lines. And I know it sounds gross, but there's nothing to worry about really. There's nothing that can make you sick that grows in beer.
Interesting.
But there are things that can grow in a draft line that can make the beer taste bad. And so draft lines actually need to be cleaned and flushed out every 2 weeks. Now, I oftentimes run into situations where that's not being done as often as it should or in the manner that it should be done.
Is it easy to spot that, or do you have to kind of do some digging to figure that out?
Well, as a consumer, there's some really easy things to look for. So when I'm sitting behind a bar, I'm going to be looking at the faucets here, and I'm going to be looking at the front of the faucet and seeing if there's any visible buildup. Is there any type of dried beer, or even worse, is there any mold growth or anything like that? Some other things I'm looking for is the retailer showing some sign that they are actually cleaning lines or having them cleaned. So the place we're at right now, the Belfry, they post on the wall the last time the draft lines were cleaned.
And again, when you spot this mold, if I order a drink that has that mold on it, I'm not going to get sick?
Yeah, there's nothing that can grow in beer that's going to make you sick. So any type of growth on the outside of the faucet is going to be an indication of something also kind of growing on the inside.
Well, bottoms up. At least it won't make us sick. That's the #1 takeaway from that. Christine, thank you.